Hey, Cindy Holt again, working from my deck workshop here. It's early in the morning at the beach, nice and overcast. Of course, it'll be 74 degrees today, because that's what it always is. Today we're going to work on a mosaic tile frame. Mosaic tile is really fun with clay because you can either pre-bake the tiles and attach them with glue, or you can, if you're working on a curved surface like glass or a light switch cover, you know my favorites, you can actually bend it over there when it's unbaked, bake it on the product, and then grout it. And we're going to use actual grout, sanded grout, just like you would use for ceramic tile, like I use for ceramic tile. So let's get started, okay? Okay, so let's get set making our tiles. I like a little pattern to my clay, so I'm going to use the Sculpey texture wheel here and just kind of roll across the clay in random directions here. And when I cut them out, they kind of look like a little leaf pattern on there. It's kind of neat. I'm obsessed with the Sculpey mini cutters, particularly the rectangle one. I just love it for making tiles. You can make 50, 60 tiles in 10 minutes with these things. It's great. I'm on the mat, which is kind of slick surface, so the clay sticks to it, and I can just punch these through on here. You see that? I'm kind of picking where I want these patterns in there. I'm going to see if I can get one to stick in here so I can show you what to do. Oh, it won't. If you have one that sticks in here or in the ball cutter, I use this large ball stylus and just push it through, and it puts just a very slight dent on the clay, not anything that's even noticeable. Once I have these cut out, I just pop them up. There we go. And we're all set. Put these on my bake tray and bake them. Now you'll notice on my round ones here, I have a little yellow dot on there. This is sunshine yellow. I'm using leaf green Sculpey 3 and turquoise Primo and sunshine yellow Primo. I have no problem at all mixing my Sculpey 3 and my Primo together. Now the pop of color here, I just laugh because I know it's sunshine yellow, but I call it pop of color yellow. I make these by using this large etch and pearl tool, and I dip it in a little bit of water. Next to duct tape, these bottle caps are like my favorite tool to use on things, and I press it firmly into the clay. Now again, I'm on a non-porous surface, so it'll stick. You see that? Isn't that great? And then you can use either your blade to slide under there, or I use my fingernail to just pop it up. And if you have a little bit of an edge here, you can just take this and come around and pull it off. Now in this case I don't even worry about it because that's going to be covered probably by grout. So then I just take these and I randomly put them on some of my circles, not all of them. Now you go ahead and bake these. Once they're baked, clean table, you take them and you lay them out in your pattern on your frame. Now, the tricky part sometimes is getting this pattern to lay right, especially in the corners. You want about this much room, you see that right there, between your pieces for the grout. You can have a little bit less, a little bit more, but you really don't want large spaces. You can see right here on this corner, the one I have completed, we're going to grout. I have a lot of space there. That's going to take a little work with the grout, but that's okay. So you just lay these out. Once you have them laid out, then go back and glue them on. You can either use white glue or super glue. I like the gel glue that gives you a little bit of reset time because sometimes I have to go back and correct my spacing a little bit. This is the first time I've also done the edge of the frame, so this is going to be a real experiment. I'm using my little pops of color here, and I've got the edges on here. Once you have them all on there and you have it glued down, I want you to take it and flip it over. Pound it. Make sure everything's on there. Nothing worse than starting your grout and all of a sudden come across a tile that you didn't glue on and you've got wet mud everywhere. Okay, let's get to the grouting. Okay, I've got the grout on and I've wiped it off the entire frame, the first wipe. I'm just kind of focusing on keeping my edges clean here. It worked great putting these tiles on the side. That was just super easy. They came out really well. I will caution you to turn it up and make sure that you get the grout on the bottom of the tile. Now I'm going to work a little bit on my corners here where I have a little bit of rough. I want a nice smooth transition there. A little bit here, You just rub it with your finger, especially if your glove is wet. Now remember this corner I said I was going to have a little trouble with because there was so much space? I need to add a little bit of grout to that. Smooth it in. Something's dripping on my foot. Again, this is regular sanded grout. The color is fawn. My tiles have been made with Sculpey 3-leaf green, Primo turquoise, and Primo sunshine / pop of color. Maybe I should campaign to get the name changed on it, huh? There we go. Yeah, that worked great putting these tiles on the side. I really like the look of it, and it was fairly easy. Okay, now we're going to let this set and set up just a little bit more. We come back every 20 minutes or so, and you can start wiping your tiles. Make sure you have fresh, clean water. Okay, one more thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop out this cardboard and make sure that my edge back here is nice and clean. Ah, see, some got in there. So we want to get that out. I don't want to push on that too hard on the outside. I'm going to mess it up. There we go. Clean off the back a little bit here. Let me make sure I didn't mess anything up over here. No. Okay. Okay, we're good. I'm going to let this sit another 20 minutes and then come back with some more fresh water and my sponge clean and see how you can just blend into these areas. Oh, I love the smell of grout in the morning. This is great. Oh, this is one of my favorites. So I'll come back in 20 minutes again and give it a final wipe and then let it sit to dry overnight. Now, normally when you work with tile and you grout, you need to seal it. Because this is a picture frame and it's not going to have any water or anything on it, I'm not going to worry with the expensive seal on it. And I would use the same seal that you use for regular tile. The other thing that you can do is once you bake your tiles, you can lacquer those. If you want a shiny finish to it, or you've put Pearl-Ex or paint on there, you can lacquer them and then glue them on, and the lacquer will protect it from the grout and it won't scratch that off. I have done some that way and I was quite surprised, but I like the nice matte look of clay, and I love the matte look with the matte grout, so I haven't done it on this particular one. So I'm going to go back to my clay table and then work on some of my projects there, set a timer, come back and check this in about 20 minutes, wipe it off one more time, probably maybe 2 times, and then let it sit undisturbed 24 hours. So I hope you enjoyed it. See you back on my deck. Bye.